thought I'd come on and do another live stream, but I've turned the comments off on this one because last time I was getting fucking trolled. Like full on trolled. Everybody was saying, "You're a yapper, nobody cares, shut up, stop talking." I was like, it's a bit harsh. So I've turned off the comments because I was getting distracted reading them halfway through. And I've not come on with any particular subject to talk about, so I will be just yapping, okay? And I've realised that the reason that I like doing these live streams, now I've got over my like horrifying fear of doing them, is because they remind me of the old podcast vibe. So for anybody who is watching me on YouTube and doesn't know me from the podcast, I also have just podcast on like all the other platforms called Empower State with Sophie Waddington, and there's about 140 episodes that you can listen to on there. And it's very, very chatty and unpolished. So it's kind of the same as these YouTube lives. YouTube is a completely different beast, you know, like I feel like I have to really edit everything on YouTube and like cut it so it's quick and you're not putting any filler words in, which I put a lot of filler words in all the time. Um there's one. So yeah, I'm quite liking doing these little just general live streams. Um, what can I talk about to you today? I'll probably just give you a little life update. Let's start with the fact that my hair's looking a bit crispy today because last night I had a bath and I put loads of baby oil in it because I saw this hack on TikTok that if you put baby oil in your bath, it gets all your tan off, which it did. Pasty as a ghost now. But I accidentally dunked my hair in it and then I've had to wash my hair this morning with fairy liquid twice. So it's dry as fuck now, but that's alright. It's not looking that bad for fairy liquid wash. Um, what else do I want to tell you today? So I'm having a little bit of a shift, and those of you who have been with me from the very, very beginning in 2021, nearly 5 years ago, um, I've been through a few of these, haven't I? I have been through a few of them. But I'm having a little shift in the way that I think about things, in the way that I want to talk on this channel and like the topics that I cover. This is still very much a manifestation channel. Oh, I can see there's 10 people on. Hi guys, if you're watching live. I've turned the comments off because I was getting fucking trolled last time. But hello to anybody who's nice. So yeah, I've had a bit of a shift in the way that I'm thinking about stuff, in that I feel like I don't want to just teach from a law of assumption point of view, which is probably very shocking to hear because I am like a die-hard law of assumption gal. But years ago, when I was first starting the podcast, before I had a YouTube channel, I taught law of attraction. Like I spoke about law of attraction on there. And now, when I look at the law of attraction stuff that's out there, it sounds bizarre to me. And I'm not slating anybody for sharing that because, like I just said, I used to do that. But the shit that's being taught in that community is actually wild. So I posted one on my Instagram story yesterday. It was just a screenshot from like an old law of attraction group that I'm in. And somebody was talking about, what were they talking about now? It was like some sort of ritual that they were doing. And they were sharing it with somebody else because they'd found out that if you write somebody's name down and then pour honey on it and then like, I don't know, set it on fire and then put it in the freezer, that gets the job done, whatever the job is. And I was thinking, this is fucking ridiculous. But I would have done that at one point. So again, like no hate to anybody who's in that world right now, but I've had men in the freezer many a times thinking that that was going to do something. Not literally, obviously, not chopped up or anything. But I have participated in all of those like rituals and those bizarre things, or what seem bizarre to me now. And then from that point on, I like progressed into the law of assumption, which is much more based on your subconscious mind and rewiring your identity. A lot of things around like visualization, robotic affirmations. That's been a technique that I've liked in the past couple of years. My friend's just sent me a really funny message. I wish I could tell you what it says, but I won't. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, so like I've talked about like robotic affirmations. I've talked about rewiring the subconscious mind. I've talked about assumptions. I've talked quite a bit about the brain and like neuroscience. And now I feel like I'm going to another level again in conscious creation. And the only way that I can sort of describe it is, or like in my experience of moving through those different levels, is like you're zooming out, you're zooming out of like doing things in the 3D, like writing somebody's name and putting it on the freezer or setting something on fire or, pouring honey over it or whatever it was that they were saying. You're moving out of doing things like that in the 3D, and then you're like sort of looking at the mind and the subconscious mind, and that's an improvement in my opinion from doing the like law of attraction kind of stuff where you feel like you're having to sort of grasp onto everything from the outside and force things. But now I'm zooming out a bit further. I'm getting to grips with the idea that actually I am just consciousness. Everybody is consciousness. And that's not something like that's not a new piece of information to anyone, I don't think. It's definitely not a new piece of information to me, but it's a new level of understanding that, if that makes sense. Um, I think sometimes you sort of have to go like full circle uh, to realize that. I definitely have had to go full circle because that's really where you start like, oh, you're literally God, your consciousness, you can create anything that you want. And then your humanness part of you tells you that that can't be right. So then you start trying to find things to do in the 3D to actively manifest and to, force things because we feel like sometimes I think we feel like if we're not doing something, then we're not manifesting. That's a big misconception that people have. So you'll get people asking questions like, what's your manifestation ritual? Well, there is no ritual because it's just being. But that sounds so abstract at the beginning when you come into the manifestation world and you start being aware of like conscious creation. You just can't wrap your head around the fact that that's the case, that you simply just have to be the person who's already got it. And you want to know how to do that. And you want like a step by step list of things that you can do to make sure that you're being that person. And then you get wrapped up in all of this like confusing content that goes, gives you 100 different pieces of advice, and eventually you come back round and think, oh shit, yeah, it is just me. I just have to be the person. But it's taken me up until now, really, like up until the last few months to see what that actually means, like, and really get an understanding of it. It's really hard to explain what I mean, but to understand something on a basic level, like to conceptualize it and to think, yeah, I understand what that means is one thing, but it's another thing to know it, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute, is zoomed right out. So a lot of my content going forward on this channel is going to be teaching from that perspective. I don't really like saying teaching, but like um talking about things from that perspective rather than zooming in on like your subconscious mind or self concept work or things like that. It's going to be like an awareness that you are just consciousness and operating from that level. So yeah, I just thought I'd come on and share that. I don't know if that was any help to anyone. It probably wasn't because I've not actually shared anything with you. Just told you what's going on with me, but I hope that you are all well. And if you are interested in that kind of thing and you feel like maybe you're ready to hear it from that perspective, then I would love you to come and subscribe to the channel, because that's where we're going. we've got to keep evolving, evolve or die. So I'll see you later, guys.